Okay, so for today's workout to burn body fat and build lean muscle, we are going to do a work to rest ratio of 30 seconds on, 10 seconds rest. We're going to do 2 sets per exercise, and we're going to do 3 rounds of it. All right, so how it's going to work, we got 5 exercises listed, and feel free to follow along with that as you're going through. We'll do 2 sets of each exercise, then we'll move on to the next one. 2 sets of that exercise, then move on to the next one. So every round, we're going to do 2 sets before moving on to the next exercise, okay? So we'll start with our first exercise. We have push-up jack, all right? Very challenging upper body exercise. And again, I mentioned in the intro that this workout is going to challenge you strength-wise, but also help you crank up your metabolism, burn body fat, and build lean muscle. So high plank position, wrist, elbow, shoulder stacked. We're going to corkscrew those hands to the floor. We're going to pull ourselves down, okay? Come up. And then hit that jack, okay? Nice and narrow with the jack. Elbows staying about 45 degrees. Kick in, kick out, lower impact, we do the push-up. We step right, step left, or maybe we need to make that a little easier by hitting the push-up from the knees, then coming up and stepping to each side. So that's exercise 1, okay? Once you finish your 2 sets, then we move on to the next one, which is the banded thruster to banded squat walk density set. So as I mentioned in the intro, you will need a band. You're gonna grab your band, you're gonna stand on it halfway between your toe and your heel. Okay, about here. We're going to pull that band up and pull it apart. From here, we're going to set a breath, inhale, down squat, press up to that Y. All right, so I'm in the W position with my arms here. I'm going to come up and press up into that Y, come back to the rack position, breath in, exhale out. Okay, once I've done 3 reps, then I'm going to do the band lateral squat walk. So I pull that band up, get into a nice shallow squat or deep squat, depending on my fitness level. 1, 2, 3 steps each direction, and then I'm ready for that thruster again. So the goal in the density set there, see how many times we can go back and forth between those 2 exercises. Third exercise, single leg in and out climbers. High plank position, wrist, elbow, shoulder stacked again. I'm going to come in with that foot and then out to the side. So to see the angle here, I come in the arms, outside the arms. Knee is just slightly outside that elbow. So in, out. Now positioning is very key here. So I want to make sure I'm pushing forward from those toes, so that way my weight's properly dispersed between my core and my upper body. I don't want my butt in the air, and I don't want to be loading this back leg and Achilles. See my back foot there? How much tension I'm putting on that back calf and Achilles? I want to make sure I'm placing that weight forward. All right, now, maybe the high plank position's too much for us. You can always elevate this. So you come to the side of the couch, or you can do it on the wall. We come in, and then out. In, and then out. So anybody who needs to modify, maybe you have a shoulder injury with a high plank is too much, elevate that. Get up to the wall, or maybe get up to the side of the couch or something. So that's exercise 3. We would do right side, and then the next side, left side. All right. Next one is a band high plank slide. So you're going to need your band again. What we're going to do is grab in the center, it creates 2 loops, okay? And then we're going to pull it so that it is essentially 1 band now. Okay, so everybody see that, how I got that? I grab it in the center and create 2 loops, and now I put that band around my wrist, and now I'm going to work that high plank slide. So high plank position, wrist, elbow, shoulder stacked. I'm going to step 1 to the right, follow the left, 2 to the right, 3 to the right. Okay, now back to the left. 1 to the left, 2 to the left, 3 to the left. Now if I need to make this easier, I'm just going to come to the high plank position and just step my right hand, step my left without moving my entire body. Make it more manageable from there. I come and do it from the knees. Now let's say it's too much on the wrist. For any of my peeps who got wrist issues, no worries. We come down low plank position, and what we're going to do is just step out with that low plank, okay? Drive that fist out, just slightly outside shoulder width, okay? From that low plank position, either from the feet or the knees. Still going to work the posterior shoulder as well as the core, okay? So we should be feeling that in the back side of the shoulders for sure. Pretty much the whole entire arm, but mostly focus is that posterior shoulder, which we don't get a lot of with our everyday lifestyle. So that's really going to challenge the posterior shoulder, but also that core. The last one is a band step back hinge row. So again, this will be 1 set one side, next set the other. Very similar to the single leg in and out climber. So you take your band, you loop it around your foot, create 2 handles, okay? Now, we're going to start by at the hips. We're going to hinge step back. So all I'm doing is bending this knee, pushing back through the hips. My back leg is stiff, okay? So I'm loading the hip here, and then I'm going to hit 1 row. Stand and exhale. Breath in, hit that row. okay? So every repetition, all right, I want to load that front hip. Notice the angle of the rope. My hands come right off the hip here, elbows up and back, pinching those shoulder blades on each one, and then standing through the hips. Now, you can make whatever resistance. Maybe you only have one band at home. That's okay. Grab the band down lower. That will create more tension. You don't have to grab it where the handles are. So this will be one set one side, next set the other, guys. Rock this out. Challenge yourself. Make sure you're pushing yourself all the way through, and we'll see